Hello, Design 2 remote students. We're going to go ahead and roll out our new project. This is called Collage Manipulations, and this project we're going to be working on for a couple weeks. And kind of switching gears a little bit, we've been doing quite a bit of drawing, and we're going to be transitioning into working with collage, kind of an art media that has a lot of potential to be pretty intuitive and to make big messes and to make great works of art. So we're going to be inspired by an artist named Lola Dupre for this, and Lola Dupre is a contemporary collage artist and illustrator. She's based out of Scotland, but she does a lot of work with just paper collage using photographs and imagery from architecture to figurative, portraits to even like mechanical type objects. So this is kind of an example of one of her pieces working from a photograph of Albert Einstein. So for this project, as we jump in, we're going to actually have you take your own photographs to get started, and that's going to be a big part of it. And these are some examples of some of her work that I'll kind of click through. And I kind of differentiate her work. This one I would call kind of like a burst almost of different images. These are kind of more architectural. Now these are all based on one image that's been photocopied several times or printed several times, and then the artist is coming in and cutting out different parts of the photograph, and then through repetition and rhythm kind of repeating it to stretch things and to manipulate them. Here's another example. This is similar to the Albert Einstein piece. This is actually a portrait of one of the famous artists that we talk about in Design 1. I don't know if anybody can recognize that, but it's actually Keith Haring, one that she did of him. A couple other examples. So these two, kind of different than this one, where she's coming in and actually using almost like this starburst to manipulate the image. This one over here, she's actually repeating several of the same objects to create this almost surreal work of art, but still maintaining some real high-end craftsmanship. A couple other examples where she's actually using color to do these. Now, we're going to be using black and white. If you're at home and you have a colored printer and you want to do this in color, that'd be fantastic. If you have a black and white printer at home, you can do it in black and white. If you don't have either, then I'm going to have you send me the image, and I'll talk to you a little bit about that, and I'll print them out and get them ready for you. So a couple of these. She does a lot of pet portraits that are kind of silly. Again, playing with proportions, kind of stretching things out. These are a couple other examples that are a little bit more mechanical. Just taking a vehicle and kind of redesigning it, reconfiguring it, which is kind of fun. Again, some of these are kind of surreal. Sometimes she leaves the background kind of empty. Sometimes she comes in and manipulates those in other ways as well. So requirements for this assignment, you're going to start off by taking your own photo, using your own original photo. The only exception to that might be if you want to go in and maybe look through some of your family photos from years past, maybe even like family photos from like your grandparents or great-grandparents. Those could be a lot of fun. But you're going to take your own photo. It could be really absolutely anything. It could be figurative. It could be, again, architectural. It could be mechanical. You want something that has good dark and light patterns and good detail. And then you're going to use a technique that's inspired by the artist Lola Dupre. Utilizing space and balance. Going to have a good composition. Thinking about some of those compositional tools that we talk about in Design 1. And then you're going to use a second medium of your choice to kind of expand upon what you've done. And I'll show you some examples kind of at the end. This is what the rubric for this larger assignment that we're going to spend a couple weeks looks like. So image development, 20 out of the 100 points are just based on using and taking your own photo, using a collage technique inspired by the artist Lola Dupre, again using good space and a good sense of balance, use of that second media. That second media could be a lot of different things. I think a lot as a painter. I love paint, so if you have paint at home, that could potentially work. And then craftsmanship, just overall, creating an image that has been fully developed and is finished. So before next Tuesday, this will be almost a week from today, I want you to take your photo, edit your photo. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that here in a second. Email it directly to me at my email address, bladuke@usd345.com. and then I will print off 10 or more copies and have those ready with a masonite panel that you're going to use to glue your collage down on top of. And then I'll have those in the office ready for you to pick up on Wednesday, October 21st. If you have a printer at home and you feel comfortable taking and printing off all your own photos and you want to work on even a piece of paper, you can potentially get by, not having to come in and pick up any materials for this. But again, if you want me to print them off, and I'd be happy to do that, just be sure I receive those before next Tuesday, and then I'll have that ready for you in the office on Wednesday to pick up. So Snapseed, I want to talk to you real quickly about this. This is an app that you can download on an Apple iPhone, and this is a wonderful app. One of my friends who teaches photography at Topeka West, Jason Berryman, this is something that he uses a lot in his photography classes. And you can download this, and on the toolbar, once you've taken a photo, you can come in. This drama tool really pushes the darks and the lights. There's also a black and white tool. I think it's this one down here. You can click on, convert it to black and white. You can use a lot of different tools on there. But again, you can take a good photo and make it great pretty quickly. Now, I just this morning took a few portraits of myself, and some of these are better than others. It's kind of the same pose, a very simple pose, but this is actually me taking a photo with my back to a window, so the light source is coming in from the back of my head, and therefore it creates very poor lighting on my actual face. So not a good photo for this. This one here would probably work, but this is me facing the window, so opposite of this one. All the lights coming in directly on me. It's almost like using a flash on a camera, which in my opinion doesn't always work out really well for this type of thing. And then this, in my opinion, would be the best case, where the light source is coming in from the right side here, and it gives me good dark and light patterns on my face. So what I did was take this photo using Snapseed. I used the drama tool, used the black and white version, and it went from this photo to this. And then in my opinion, this would be a photo that I could use to work on this assignment. I did not, however, consider what's going on in the background, and this is not thought out very well. I would want to consider the whole frame as far as what's being done there. And again, if you need me to print it, email me your picture before next Tuesday. I'll have it ready for you on Wednesday. And then lastly, I'm just going to show you a couple examples of student work from the past on this assignment. These are from about a year ago. Students using this Lola Dupre, using their images, using that second media. This artist was actually using some colored collage elements, maybe some magazine cutouts. This student was using actual construction paper, charcoal, kind of a combination of those. This student used, actually a big portion of this is actually an acrylic painting. And then a couple other ones. Keely Gare, who's a senior this year, and then Summer Gardner. Summer's work here with her pet cat. This actually was a Gold Key Scholastic winner last year at the Scholastic Art Show in Wichita. So lots of possibilities. Think again about what you want to say with your work. This has tons of potential to be something beyond just a pretty picture. Maybe you want to incorporate person, place, and thing. Maybe you want there to be a deeper concept behind it. And then next week, after we've got these printed out, we'll start actually collaging our image together to get started. So hope you're well. If you're missing any assignments, continue to get those turned in. Let me know if you have any questions. This is actually our last week with Mr. Thomas. He'll be transitioning over to the middle school, so we're going to definitely miss him. So have a great week. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.